All right, let's just dive right into this. In the absolute chaos of the crypto market, where coins can literally moon and then just vanish in a matter of hours, one trader pulled off a play so precise, it's honestly hard to believe.
$1.5 million. That was the profit. Just let that number sink in for a second.
And here's the really insane part. The starting point. It all came from an initial stake of just 6,800 bucks. Transformed in only 2 weeks. That is a 220x return. It's wild.
So, what's the first thing that pops into your head? They must have just hit the jackpot on some random meme coin, right? A total 1 in a million lucky shot. Well, that's where this whole story just flips on its head. This wasn't a gamble. Nope. This was an engineered win, built not on luck, but on a system of volume, rebates, and just ice-cold discipline. So how in the world did they do it? This was not about just aping into a coin and praying. This was a professional-grade strategy, and we're about to pop the hood and see what's really running this thing. Okay, so the core of this whole system was something called a delta-neutral strategy. So what does that even mean? Well, to put it simply, it means the trader did not care if the market went up, down, or sideways. Think of it like a casino. The house always wins because it profits from the sheer volume of bets, not by betting on red or black itself. Their system was built to profit from the activity itself. And the sheer scale of this it's staggering. This system wasn't making a few clever bets here and there. This thing was a high-frequency machine, cranking out over 50,000 trades a day. And with each trade, it collected this tiny, tiny rebate, which proves it was designed to get paid for providing liquidity, not for guessing where the market was headed. And this is the key thing you have to understand. The trader wasn't trying to predict the market or time the perfect entry. No. They built a system that became the market floor. They engineered the liquidity and got paid handsomely for doing it. So, right about now, you're probably thinking, okay, that's great for them, but I don't have a team of quants or a server farm. And you know what? You're absolutely right. But this is where we bridge that gap. We're going to look at how the principles behind this incredible win can actually be applied by anyone. I mean, let's be honest, these are the two completely different worlds we're talking about, right? On one side, you've got the ghost trader with their custom bots, elite hardware, the whole shebang. And on the other, you have the typical retail trader, who's often running on instinct, emotion, and let's face it, pretty clunky and slow execution. It feels like they're playing a different game, because they are. But here's the big idea. What if the goal isn't to copy the exact trades? What if the goal is to copy the systematic framework, the discipline, the data edge, and that critical execution speed? That's the real alpha. So, if the goal is to copy the framework, you're going to need the right tools for the job. And this is exactly where a platform like Aave.ai comes into the picture. It's basically designed to give retail traders the toolkit they need to build their own strategic framework inspired by these exact same powerful principles. Okay, principle number 1 is what we call precision alpha detection. Fancy term, right? But all it really means is finding your data edge, spotting those real opportunities before they become obvious to the entire market. Making sure you're not the last person buying the top. So how do you actually do that in practice? Well, it's about tracking a ton of different signals all at once. Things like smart money movements, what big influencers are talking about. Then you use really specific filters to cut through all that noise and spot that early momentum, before the rocket really takes off. All right, principle number 2 is all about speed and efficiency. Because in this game, we all know a few seconds, man, that can be the difference between a massive win and a gut-wrenching loss. You need execution that feels like you have your own professional infrastructure. So imagine this, executing a trade with a single click, right on the charts, with your take profit and stop loss orders already baked in. No more frantically switching between DEX tools in your wallet, losing those precious seconds while the price is moving against you. That is how you get that infrastructure-level speed. Principle number 3 is all about information. The ghost trader absolutely dominated because they understood volume. You can get that same kind of edge, but by understanding who the key players are, who's really moving the money in any given token. This is basically like having X-ray vision into the market. You can see the top holders, you can track their P&L, you get alerts if a dev wallet starts dumping, you can even tag specific wallets to track insiders. Look, knowing who's buying is your alpha, but knowing when they sell, that's your exit signal right there. And finally, the fourth principle, and this one might be the most important of all, discipline. So many traders fail, not because they have bad ideas, but because emotion takes over and wrecks the plan. The real key is to take human error out of the equation. You can literally automate your own trading rules. So for example, you can set a rule that says, hey, if that developer wallet I tagged sells even a little bit, automatically sell 30% of my position. Boom, risk management on autopilot. It lets you trade with the cold, calculated discipline of a system, not in the emotional heat of the moment. So let's bring this all together. The goal here is so much more powerful than just blindly copying someone else's trades. It's about adopting a professional-grade framework for how you approach your own trading. And this is exactly how you translate what that ghost trader did into your reality. Their complex, high-frequency bots, those become your precision signal filters. Their co-located servers and raw speed, that becomes your one-click execution. Their order flow analysis becomes your smart money dashboards. And their systematic discipline, that becomes your automated trading rules. It all comes down to a fundamental shift in how you think about this. You have the tools to stop just throwing darts in the dark and hoping you get lucky, and instead to start executing a clear, data-driven plan. Stop trading like a gambler. Start trading like a system. So, I'll leave you with this one question. The next time you see a coin starting to trend, what are you going to do? Are you going to chase the hype, crossing your fingers that you're not the last one in? Or are you going to trace the signal, check the wallets, and execute with precision? The choice is yours.